welcome to our first Roary Rover question and answer session. So, who do we have with us? You already know this. We've got midfield star Ross Matthews. Hello, Ross.
Everyone.
There's a wave. And we also have our defender and goal machine, Reghan. I don't have a Roary Rover Tumilty. Hello, Reghan.
Hello, how are you?
All good. Thank you very much for giving up your time, lads. These kids are very excited about our question and answer. So, who am I? My name's David, and normally I'm the guy that gets to interview the manager and the players before the games, after the games. And tonight, I'm just going to get a wee bit of space because you have gave me really good questions. So I'm just going to say whose turn it is. Let you answer your question. Some people have asked 2 or 3 questions, so I'm going to ask you just to ask one to start with. We'll make sure everybody gets a turn, and then we'll come back to the other questions if we've got enough time. Your microphone will be muted when you're not talking, just so that we didn't hear your dog barking or your somebody in your house shouting you for your tea, and we can just focus on the football chat. So let's get going. Oh, I forgot, there might be one other interruption. I'm just warning you that because of lockdown, we've had a lion that's needed somewhere to stay, so he's been isolating at my house. So I could hear him roaring out the back earlier on. So I'm not saying that he'll turn up, but just be canny, he might. He tells me that he does weightlifting and stuff, but to be honest, I just see him really watching Animal Planet and eating popcorn. So just warning you. Right, let's get down to business. First question we've got is from Danny, who's not with us. And I'm going to ask it for Danny.
Yes, he's here.
Hello.
Is he here, Danny? Good man.
He's here.
Right. This is
Hi.
what I'm looking forward to. Let's hear this question, Danny.
Hi Ross, hi Reghan. I hope you're both well, and I can't wait to get back to Starks Park to see you both playing soon again. My question is for Ross. I was at the Rovers Hearts Cup game at Bayview a few years ago. You hit a penalty that day, and it was last seen heading towards outer space. I'm just wondering, has anyone ever found the ball?
Great question.
I was hoping that question wouldn't come up, but yeah, I think the ball's still in the air from that penalty. It's probably my most embarrassing moment in football. And my friend who I stay with at the moment still shows me it almost every week. So I've not forgotten about it. But no, to your answer, I've never found the ball, and it wouldn't surprise me if no one else ever found the ball as well.
I heard a rumour that there was some of the SEALs out in the Firth of Forth had caught it and they had joined up and made a 5-a-side team, Ross.
I've heard a few rumours. I've been sent pictures of people photoshopping it on Mars and everything, so I think I've heard it all.
Brilliant. Well played, Danny. So Travis Hutton was next, and Travis certainly isn't with us just now, might join in. Hopefully we'll be able to. So the question for both lads is, who is your favourite player in Scottish football? Let's start with you, Reghan.
I don't really have that many favourite players, but at the moment I think I like Edward. I like watching Edward score goals. Yeah, Edward is enjoyable to watch in the Scottish Premiership for me.
Right. Roscoe?
It's a tough one. I'm not too sure. I think by far Rangers have been the best team. I like watching Morelos. Find them very entertaining to watch. I'd love to play with him, hate to play against them, so I'd probably say him. Even though,
Brilliant.
Just putting out there, I'm definitely not a Rangers fan.
So, Alexander Daly. You ready, Alexander, with your question?
Yeah.
Go for it, young man.
What is your favourite plate of food?
What is your favourite plate of food, football players?
I really like salad. Salads are wonderful. Chicken salad, all sorts of salads. I'm a salad man, me, so that's my answer. Chicken salad, preferably from Nando's.
Very healthy.
Yeah.
Ross Matthews, favourite plate of food?
Mine, I'm going in the opposite direction. I stuck between either burgers or I like a steak. Steak and chips would probably be my favourite, but I'm the same as Reghan. I try to eat healthy during the week, especially before my games, but maybe after a game I'd have a burger, especially if we won.
So healthy food. Oh, sorry, I'm getting interrupted. Talking of healthy food. Anybody want some popcorn? I told you, he does nothing. He does nothing. He says he exercises, but look, popcorn, away you go, you. So, next question will be Ewan.
Hi Ross, hi Reghan. My question is, what advice would you give a young footballer like me who wants to be like both of you and play for Raith Rovers?
Great question.
My advice, I'm sure you've heard it all before, but just work as hard as you can and practice as much as you can. I'd say to work on all the stuff you might think you're not so good at. So maybe it's your weaker foot or your, I don't know, work on your shooting or whatever position you are. I'd just say work on your technique and play football as much as you can. I'm not sure what Reghan has to say.
Yeah, no, I'd echo the exact same as Ross there. Ewan, probably just get out and practice and play as much as you can, and especially now we're all locked in the house, get outdoors. I don't know how old you are, who you can play with and whatever, but yeah, work on your weaknesses and just enjoy it, to be honest. Enjoy playing football and that's the main thing.
Thanks.
Great answers. Reno, you've been kind enough to send me 3 or 4 questions. Do you want to pick what your favourite question is just now and run it past the lads?
Okay. So, how does it feel not playing in front of fans?
Great question.
For me, it's really, really weird. It's strange. It almost feels like we're at training every day. Well, we train at the stadium as well. So sometimes you got to motivate yourself and motivate your teammates a lot more because the fans aren't there to do it. So yeah, sometimes a wee bit like training, but that's all we can do at the moment.
Yeah,
it's very unusual, no fans being there, Ross, isn't it? How have you found it in the middle of the park?
Yeah, I was just about to say it just feels strange. It's not quite the same when you win or you score a goal, or it's just so much better with the fans there. But especially since we've had such a good season so far, it would have been nice for the fans to be there, and I'm sure the wins we've had would have been even better with the fans there. So it's quite frustrating, but it's just one of these things that needs to be done at the moment.
Yeah, for me as well, it's really frustrating because I've signed just at the start of the season and not played in front of any Raith Rovers fans and possibly for the whole season. So that is also very disappointing.
Yeah.
Question. Young Chloe, do you want to join us and ask the boys your question? It's a good question.
Did Benny tell you my joke?
No.
Let's all hear this joke.
Benny tell a lot of jokes.
Why did the squirrel summon its back?
I don't know.
To keep its nuts dry.
I'm not sure.
That sounds like a Benny joke.
It definitely does.
Yeah, it does sound like a Benny joke.
Chloe's other question that she sent. You want to ask the question, Chloe, or you want me to ask it for you, dear? The question was, what footballer did you like the most when you were younger and growing up? Who did you look up to in the football world?
For me, obviously, the standouts are Messi and Ronaldo, aren't they? Because they're the ones they're always on the TV and the news, everything you watch them. So I prefer Ronaldo over Messi. So watching him play really well every week and break records like Messi, and they push each other, it's good to watch. So probably my two.
I'm probably going to sound like a diehard Rangers fan here, but growing up it was Steven Gerrard when he was at Liverpool. Just the goals he scored, he could tackle, he could pass the ball, he could score goals, and yeah, it's just something I loved watching him, and I always kind of wanted to be like him. I might was off it, mind you, but I liked watching him when I was younger.
Just to help Ross Matthews out, we'll ask you what football team do you actually support?
I'm a Hearts fan, if I'm being honest. I was a season ticket holder when I was younger.
I support Celtic. So about that this season. So anyone says anything, I will send the lion round to your house.
We have your email address. He'll track you down. So, question from Nathan Kerry, who's not been able to join us so far. What's your highlight been of the season so far? What's been the high point in this brilliant season up until now?
On you go, Ross.
My highlight would be, the win at Tynecastle. Just because I think it was, Davey, you said yourself, we've not done it. I think it's only the sixth time Raith Rovers have beat Hearts at Tynecastle. It was just such an amazing moment, and I wish the fans were there. That was frustrating, but especially with all that was going on with the coronavirus and everything, we hadn't trained in like 10 days, I think it was, and to come back straight into that game and win it, it was definitely my favourite game this season. Yeah,
exact same. What was it, 26 years? I've only found out after the game in one of your interviews, I think, with the gaffer. So, yeah, that was definitely a high point, like Ross says, not training for 10 days and going out and scoring 3 goals at Tynecastle was brilliant.
And your goal was an absolute screamer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had not probably better than the Dundee goal, and it meant a lot more, to be honest. So yeah, screamer, correct? Yes,
correct. They all count, don't they? I'm going to ask another question on behalf of a young lad who's not here just now. It's a great question. Harrison Gray asks, if you were both entered into a 5-a-side tournament and you were only allowed to pick 4 other Rovers players, what 4 Rovers players would you take to make up your 5-a-side team?
I'm going to have to think about that, so Reghan can go first.
Is it present?
Does it have to be current players?
I think you could choose anyone that's wore a Raith Rovers jersey. Obviously, that gives you more to choose from. Ross Matthews, that's been a little bit cheeky. I might have to send a line round to your house. Reghan's only had this season.
Yeah, I'll have to pick a few from this season. I think in goals, I'll go Jammer in goals. Obviously, been brilliant for us this season. What kind of formation are we playing? I'll go with Frankie Masonda at the back because he needs more game time. And I'll play Ross in the middle so he can kick everyone. And then how many is that? 3, 2 more. And I'll play Manny up top so he can run in behind and over the fence in the 5-a-side pitch. And I'll play Vaughan because I've not actually played with Vaughan much this season, and unfortunately due to his injuries and stuff like that. So hopefully he's back soon, but I'll pick him.
So let's count them up. In your 5-a-side team, you've got Jamie McDonald, Lewis Vaughan, Manny, Frankie, Ross Matthews, and Reghan Tumilty. So that 5-a-side team. That 5-a-side team's looking guy dodgy to me, Reghan Tumilty.
Right. Jammer's out there and I'm in goals.
Great. I'll be the one that will let you tell Jamie McDonald that he's on the subs bench. And I'm guessing the formation is 0-5 then, since we've not got a goalie.
Yep, straight up.
Ross Matthews, can you count to 5?
I've got Jammer's not going to be happy with me, but I'm picking Robbie in goals since he's been there longer. Got loyalties to Robbie. Used to have a car school until we weren't allowed this year, so I'm going to go Robbie. Then I'm going to go Dave Mackay at the back. Can't wait till he's back fit again. Reghan Tumilty, the other defender, because he's there. And I feel like I have to pick him because he's here. I don't know if I would pick him otherwise. Then in midfield, I've got myself and who would I play with me? I'll play Louis Vaughan in midfield with me, actually. I'll play him just in front of me. And then up front, I've got Johnny Court. I'll throw back. I'm still good mates with him. I think he only played 1 or 2 games with Raith, but I'm going to put him up top so he can just tackle people and kick the ball.
Well done, Ross Matthews, for digging Reghan out of a hole by also picking 6 players for your 5-a-side team.
Oh, did I?
Absolutely brilliant. I think that I think you better be going back to the Adam Smith University or the local college. Get some night classes and adding up. Maybe the boys and girls can help out. Okay, back onto my gang here that I've got with me. Lucas, you'll be very patient. Lucas, you ready with your question? Give him a wee second.
What will you do when you're finished playing football?
Great question. What will you do when you stop playing football?
Try and find a job, Lucas, to be fair. Don't know what I would pick. I quite like, well, obviously like doing sport and stuff like that. So maybe PE teacher off the top of my head. But there's a lot of studying that goes into that. And I'm not the most book smart.
Mine's going to sound really boring, but I'm just about to go to university to study engineering. So that's something that I'd think I'd maybe do after football. I also want to do a bit of travelling. You don't really get the chance when you're playing football to go visit different countries unless you're good enough to go and play in them. But that's not the case for me. So yeah, I think I'd like to do a bit of travelling, and engineering something I'd maybe do.
I would definitely like to see one of the houses that you build, Ross, given that you can't count to 5, but you're going to be responsible for some big engineering projects. Remember to send me some pictures of that. I'm sure the Roary Club will be fascinated. I'm going to go to some of the kids who've sent in some extra questions because there's some real crackers here. Alexander, you asked a question about superheroes. Do you want to ask the boys that?
How you could be a superhero, who would that be and why? My favourite is Spider-Man.
Great question. If you could be a superhero, who would it be and why? And you can't pick Spider-Man because that's Alexander's favourite. He's claimed Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's a good choice. But I think I'd go for Deadpool. I think that's one of my favourite Marvels, and he doesn't die, so I would pick Deadpool. I watched Deadpool 2 the other day on Disney Plus again. So I've watched those over and over, and hopefully a third one comes out soon.
Great. Roscoe?
Off the top of my head, I think I'd go the Hulk, just so I'm big, massive, could fight anyone. Give Nando a good fight in the changing room. So I'd choose the Hulk.
Well, my superhero's here. You want to come and say hello? Superhero's been working out. He says that he's ready. One of the adults sent in a question that said, is there anybody in the changing room that would be strong enough to beat Roary in an arm wrestle? Nando fancied it, but he thought that maybe Ross Matthews was the boy. Do you fancy that, Ross? Do you think you could beat this legend of a lion in an arm wrestle?
Not sure about that. Nando also says his wee brother would beat me, so not too sure how Nando wouldn't win. My money would be in the changing room. It would be Nando.
Nando versus the legend that is Roary Rover. Look at this. Look at this finely tuned athlete here behind me. What do you think, Reghan? Nando or Roary? Who's your money on?
Nando, definitely Nando. Even though he's quite a chilled out guy, his legs are about the same size as my waist. So arms as well is just massive. So I wouldn't like that.
I'll check that out with Roary. I can talk lion, so I'll just hear what he's going to say. Any day, bring the pain, is apparently what Roary says to Nando Fernandi Mendy. We'll have to set that one up once we're all away for social distancing. Great question, Alexander. We'll have to make that. That match happen. Nando versus Roary. Okay, what we've got. Reno, you're still with us, pal. You asked us a few questions, and I'm going to ask you to ask. Well, there's a particularly cheeky question for Ross Matthews that involves Ian Davidson. Are you still with us, Reno?
Yeah.
Go for it. What was your question?
Well, I've got several ones, and I'm pretty sure. And there was the one, and it was, do you think lockdown has affected you and the team?
Go for it, lads. How has lockdown
it's been
affected
tough.
yourselves and the team?
Yeah, I'd say it's been tough, especially the first lockdown, having that time away from football. It was hard not coming in and seeing everyone, but you see how well we're playing on the pitch, so it's maybe affected us in a good way. I think being able to go into training, it helps a lot. Whereas a lot of my friends that are still working just have to stay in the house and they're not able to go out and see people. So it's actually been quite good for us being able to go into training, although it has been tough not being able to go out and see your friends and just go out and do stuff you do in normal life.
Yeah, no, definitely. Exact same as Ross. But yeah, it has helped us in a way this season. Definitely, and we've been getting out and training. It has been a bit disruptive, obviously. Games like recent games, Friday just been there, getting called off. So we've got a lot of Tuesday, Friday, Saturday games for the next month. So they're coming fast. So we can't complain, and we've got to go out and just perform, really.
I'm going to bring in the most patient boy in the whole lot before I come back to some of the kids who had a couple of questions, just because I was trying to spread it around. Cammy Meldrum, you with us, Cammy?
Hi. This question is for Ross. I just want to know, you've been playing with the Rovers a long time. Are you planning to be here when you're the same age as Davo?
That's ages away if I'm going the same age as Davo.
Oh.
He's about 70. So I don't know. Who knows? I'm here for another 3 years. You never know how long I'll be there for. I think Davo's still got a lot more appearances than me, so yeah, I think I need to catch up with him. Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be there as long as Davo. You have to wait and see.
Cammy, you've been very patient. Have you got any other questions you'd like to add? I'm putting you on the spot here.
Not really.
Not really. You've rehearsed that question and then I go and put the pressure on. That was very unfair of me, wasn't it? Let's see. Go for it.
Just to ask, Ross, will you be the same age as Davo?
What's that? Sorry, I was lagging there. I couldn't hear you. I think my connection's gone a wee bit.
Cammy, could you repeat that question? You broke up a wee bit there.
The Tunnocks UEFA Cup final. Will Ross? Will you be the same age as Davo by the time that game gets played?
I know. I'm hoping that gets played this season. We've been told it'll get played this season, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But going back to favourite games, as I said earlier, that game last year against Partick Thistle, that was definitely one of my favourite games that I've been involved in since I've been at Raith, and I think a big part of that was the fans. The away support that day was incredible, and that's definitely up there with one of my favourite games. So I'm hoping the final will get played soon.
Reghan, for yourself, was the fact that we're in the final, is that quite an exciting thing to look forward as you join Raith Rovers, and obviously the final's been carried on?
Yeah, it was something that the gaffer mentioned when signing. We've got a cup final to play. Obviously, who knows when, but hopefully we do get to play it, and it is in front of some, if not all, the fans to play against sometime soon.
We've got plenty of practice against Inverness because we play them this coming Friday and then the Tuesday after, so we'll have to just figure out what their weaknesses are. Lads, I'm watching the clock and we've got about 7 minutes left, so we've got time for another wee couple of questions. And one that was on the list here from one of the kids who's unfortunately not been able to join us is, who's the best player that you've played with and who's the best player that you've played against?
played with, for me, it's pretty easy. I'd say Louis Vaughan. It's just unfortunate I've not actually been able to play with him a lot recently, but I came through the youth system with him, and yeah, I've just always seen how good he was, and it's just a shame with his injuries that he's not been playing the last couple of years, but he's nearly back fit, so I can't wait to eventually play with him. But yeah, definitely, he's probably the best I've played with. He scores goals all the time, and he's so skillful.
You want to jump in, Reghan?
Reghan?
Yeah, I think played with, I'm going to put, you might not know who it is, his name's Harry Suter. His brother John plays for Hearts. I played with him when I was younger, and he's now starting every week for Stoke. Played next to him, so he was a centre-back and I played right-back, and he's gone on to do good things now and playing every week in the English Championship. So yeah, he's a very good centre-back, and it's showing just now.
What about the best player against?
Player against, well, I was fortunate to play against Celtic's Invincibles team that season, and I think that season Scott Sinclair as a winger to play against just was a different level that season, and really hard to obviously defend against, and especially when he was in that good form. So I'd say it's Scott Sinclair.
Ross Matthews, we always remember the performance that you put in at Parkhead, where you kind of bossed the Celtic captain all over the pitch. It's quite an infamous game for Raith Rovers fans. The result didn't go our way, and we won't mention the chance you had, but you really took control of the midfield that particular game. Would that be the standout for yourself, or was there another single player that you think was just exceptional that you've shared a pitch with?
I don't know, it's a tough one. Celtic were obviously a brilliant team at the time, but they weren't the same as what Reghan was talking about. They weren't Invincibles at the time, it was just before that. And to be honest, when they played us, I didn't think they were at their best. But I'd say when we were in the Championship, we played Rangers when they won the league. I remember, I don't know if he was the best player I played against, but the best performance, there was a winger, Nathan Adua. I don't know if you remember him, he was on loan from Tottenham. I just remember him just doing skills all the time, like nutmegging people. I think Benny tried to tackle him, he chipped over his leg. Lewis Toshney as well, gave away a penalty. I'm sure he flip-flapped the ball through my legs. It was on Soccer AM Showboat, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's another thing I've been slaughtered for. But yeah, I'd say him, just a one-off performance. But as a player, it's probably, I don't know, it could be anyone, Old Firm, Rangers or Celtic, because both times we've played them, they've been really good.
I think that's everyone's had a turn to ask some questions, and we've just got a couple of minutes left. So I'm going to thank you on behalf of the Roary Club lads for joining as your host. And it's been an easy night for me, not having to think up any questions. I want to thank the young people for their contribution. Really great to have your company. I wish you well with the Roary Club, and hopefully we'll all see you back at the ground before too long. Final question, that I've got to ask something, so I'm going to say, how good are we, lads? Are we good enough to make the playoffs this year?
Definitely got to believe in ourselves to
100%.
Yeah. At the start of the season, obviously the target was just to stay in the league, but you've only got to look at the table now to see where we are, and we've got to strive for better and try and get up there and stay up there, and push for that promotion playoff spot.
Yeah, I agree with Reghan. I'm sure the gaffer said it tons of times in his interviews recently, but it's the best squad I've played with at Raith, and the brand of football we play is exciting, and I don't see why we can't go match anyone in the league. We've shown we can beat Hearts at Tynecastle, we've beat Dundee, so they're teams that have got a lot bigger budgets than us, and I don't see why we can't aim for the playoffs, and we've got every chance, just as good a chance as anyone else of getting promoted. Who knows? But yeah, so far it's been an excellent season, so I hope it continues.
Okay, guys, and young lady who joined us as well, we'll wish you all well. We'll let you get away for your tea or whatever. I guess I'm going to be upstage in the background. I'll let somebody else say goodbye on behalf of Raith TV and behalf of us all. Thanks for your time, everybody, to the players. and to us humble supporters as well. Take care, look after yourself, follow the advice, and we'll hopefully all be back at Starts Park soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.